Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tea Time with Tanya. I'm Tanya. Today is a very special day. We have Hogarth Brown as our very special guest. But before we get to that, let's start this off with a blessing. Dear universe, creator, spirit guides, please give us the collective a blessing for this Monday, the 27th of March, 2023. A blessing just for us. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is the blessing that we need for today. We get the Om Shanti peace blessing. Om Shanti. Blessed are you with everlasting peace, beyond words or understanding. Blessed are you with tranquility and bliss. Blessed are you with the clarity that reveals the beauty of your soul and through which all appears as infinite. Namaste. Namaste.
Oh, wow, that
Namaste.
sounds fabulous. Thanks so much for having me, by the way. It's a pleasure to be here. Although I'm not used to doing morning, I realize I'm much more of a night owl. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's daylight outside. But no, it's all good.
Well, there's like what 14 hours difference between us, so
Oh, I think it's with you. What you're on the you're on the Pacific coast, is that
yes,
correct?
yes, it's
No,
2 a.m.
Oh, right. So it should be 8 hours.
Oh,
It should
eight
be eight
hours
hours
difference.
difference. Yeah, something like that. But
That's
still,
not too
it's
bad. That's not too
yeah,
bad.
still quite a bit.
All right. Well, let me give you your proper introduction, Hogarth. All right, everybody, for everyone out there, Hogarth is an author, an influencer, and is the creator of his own channel, Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, um, and and
Yeah.
know your. You changed it recently to what is it? You know
Well,
your country,
it's still know your nation, know yourself, or
your
know your
nation.
planets, know yourself. It's they're interchangeable. But no, well done. Thanks for remembering that.
Awesome. Well, I know that you are getting out of doing a lot of the political stuff and that you are interested in some new endeavors. Would you like to tell us what you're about to start creating?
Sure, sure. I mean, they'll always. Oh, look at this! Look at the base of the deck. I was just look. We've got the sun there. Oh, that's very nice. No, I'll still be doing the political stuff. Of course, there's all of that. But I and my channel are basically evolving. So I'm starting to get back into more of the creative side because I actually went to art school. I have a huge, art background and stuff like that, and I've been extremely busy with the channel, building the channel, doing lots of consultations and stuff for people. And now it's sort of like the downloads I'm getting now is about taking things to the next level. So I'm going to start writing a book very soon, which is called The Book of Power. And it is going to be about astrology because I do Vedic astrology, as you know, which is the Indian-based astrology, 5,000 years old, but I actually do Neo-Vedic astrology. So I include the outer planets as well. And I'm going to create this book here. So I've illustrated the front cover. So if we look here, oh, there it is. Very, very elaborate and detailed.
Oh, that's
This is the front cover, and what it's going to be is it's going to be a book of gold and gems and stuff, and it will open up and it will be a pop-up book and all of this stuff. And I've been doing the designs for some of the typography as well, so you can see here some of the this is the kind of typography kind of blown up. So those old books, are you familiar with like illuminated manuscripts and stuff like that?
I am. I am.
Right. So I've always been inspired by illuminated manuscripts and Old English and all of this kind of stuff. So this book will contain certain bits like that. So what I've done here, just so you can see here, if you can see these, they're illuminated.
Ah,
You see, so these are the letters that I was talking about.
oh, they're beautiful.
Or but you see, but these will be illuminated and all part of the book. It's too much to explain, but it's going to be like at least a 2-year project. And I took that front cover design that I did and I took it to a jeweler, a professional jeweler. And he was sort of like informing me how it could be made, etc. But the whole point is to bring almost like the highest expression of the planets, their highest octaves, sort of like down to earth in a way, in a form that will excite people, interest people, but also educate people about Vedic astrology, because it's very, very powerful.
Yes, it is. All right. That is so amazing. So
Thank you.
now
Thanks for giving me that plug.
I'm gonna pick your brain because
Mhm.
I'm not gonna ask you any political questions, so don't have to
Mm.
get a day off from that, even though tomorrow is maybe one heck of a day.
Oh, we'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Oh, I mean, the planets are lining aren't. Oh, shall I say the planets aren't lining up for nothing.
Yeah.
So, but I put some questions, some feelers out from my viewers, and
Mm.
I have some wonderful questions if you're up for a little volleyball.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Throw them at me.
Okay. My first question is from a viewer named Sharon. She would like to understand if you could explain what the age of Aquarius means for the collective. How does it start, and what changes can we expect to occur?
Oh, what a wonderful question. What a wonderful question. And so the age, so what we're talking about when we're talking about things like the age of Aquarius, etc., we're talking about huge epochs of time. Yeah, huge epochs of time. And what a lot of people don't realize, there is a phenomena. So I'm actually going to talk about bona fide physics right now, a bit of bona fide physics and astronomy. So what it is, there is this thing which is called the precession of the equinoxes. Yeah, the precession of the equinoxes. Procession means forward motion. Precession means backward motion. So all of the stars are actually slowly moving backwards. Now, it's actually very appropriate because if we look here, I've got a little diagram, a little thing that I can show you guys. So if we look here, this won't make much sense, but I'm going to explain it. This is a nakshatra wheel. Yeah. This here I call the pizza slices. Yeah. And these are the 12 signs of the zodiac. So you can see Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, these parts here I call the pizza fingers, yeah? And these are the asterisms, the nakshatras. That's what we call them in Vedic astrology. And there's 27 of those. And those nakshatras have Shakti, starlight. And that's what actually gives the star signs their flavor and their meaning. So in Western astrology, we just say you're an Aries, you're a Taurus, etc. But there's more. Each sign is made up of around about 2¼ parts. Yeah. So we go back here. Now, to describe the precession of the equinoxes, the stars are slowly moving backwards. Yeah. They're slowly, depending which way you're looking at this. Now, I could either keep this part still and move the paper, which is a bit awkward, but to explain, you see here how it says Aries, yeah? So I'm going to line this up. I'm going to line up Aries with Aries, yeah? So Western astrology, yeah, counts this as Aries, yeah? Which is fair enough. But guess what? The stars have been moving backwards, slowly. They move backwards by 1 degree every 71 years or so, yeah? And what that means is over time, the stars are slowly moving backwards. So now what we call Aries is actually Pisces. Yeah. So everyone's sign in Vedic astrology, Babylonian astrology, or Hellenistic astrology, it all moves back. Yeah. And that's where the star energy, the Shakti, is. So anyone who's watching now who is an Aries or a Taurus sun sign, for example, there is a very good chance when you take off 24 degrees, because that's how far the stars have moved backwards since the fall of Rome, which was 420 AD.
Oh,
Yeah.
please don't get ahead. Don't get ahead.
I won't. Okay. So most people say if you're an Aries sun sign, most of you are a Pisces. Yeah. But there is an overlap of 6 degrees. So if you're late Pisces, when you take off the 24, you're still going to be Pisces. But if you're early Pisces, if you're late Aries, when you take off 24 degrees, you'll still be Aries. But if you're early Aries or mid Aries, guess what? You're a Pisces sun sign. So to put that into a nutshell, the age of Aquarius, etc., is this precession of the equinoxes going backwards. Yeah. And that's when the whole star system begins to rise in the constellation of Aquarius. Yeah. So what is the age of Pisces is coming to an end. Yeah. Because it goes backwards. So it goes Aries, Pisces, Aquarius. Yeah. But what I would say is that we're not there quite yet. Why? Because Western astrology is 24 degrees ahead. Yeah. The true age of Pisces is going to begin in quite a while. However, it has begun. Yeah. My description for it is like, imagine that you are looking at a huge mansion and you're looking through the windows. And you can see there's a big banquet, yeah? And everyone's you can see all the food is being laid out. We can see the food, we can smell the food, but we can't taste the food yet, yeah? But the door is open and we can have a look. So the energies of the age of Pisces are coming, but it's not quite here yet, but we're going into the higher vibration now. So we're getting there.
All right. Thank you for that. Okay. Let me see. Because we're on the Vedic and Western astrology. So you just kind of answered why the Vedic astrology is different from the Western astrology. But when I said don't get ahead, can you explain to everyone what Rome did to change our calendar to the 12-month cycle instead of the 10-month cycle?
Well, I mean, you will probably know a bit more details on this than I. However, all of us now, particularly in the West, we operate on the Gregorian calendar, essentially, which essentially is a construct. It is a construct of time. And even the month of August was added, and it was named after, what was it, Emperor Augustine or something like that. So in a way, the way that we process and calculate time, particularly in the West, is not strictly, authentically how time plays out. So it's a bit artificial. The true kind of cycles of time, epochs of time, really are decided by the planets and the stars. Yeah. So really, a true month is the lunar cycle. Yeah, that's a true month. In fact, that's part of where we get the name of month from. It's the movement of the moon, movement of the moon, month. And the cycle of the moon is about every 28 days. Yeah. So that's how long, in terms of like with my nakshatra wheel, going back to that, the moon moves through the whole zodiac in about a month. Yeah. In 28 days, which we all know as what? The lunar cycle, which is connected with what? The female cycle. Yeah. That's why the ideal cycle for a woman ideally is 27, 28 or 29 days. If it goes out of that, then a woman will know her cycle is out of sync. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's connected. This is why the moon is so incredibly important. Also, as well, just to answer a little bit, because I realized I didn't answer what does the age of Aquarius mean. What it means is, and then I'll go back, is that everything's going to speed up. Yeah. Everything is speeding up. Aquarius is an air sign. And the original ruler of Aquarius is planet Saturn. Yeah. But Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus and Rahu, the north node of the moon. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what it means is we're now entering the age of what? Technology. It's already begun. Yeah, we already know this. Technology has already begun. But what we're about to see is quantum leap
Thank you.
developments
I have been
in
saying that
technology.
exact thing for people to prepare for the quantum leap. But we've already been through one. We went through it in the 80s. And a lot of the 90s babies who were 90s and 2000s babies well, the 2000s babies were born into technology. The 90s babies were the end of literally, oh my God, the 1900s. I mean,
Yeah.
to break it down like that, to think that
Mm.
a 33-year-old person born in 1990 was born in the 1900s. I mean, just, and how
Yeah.
what we've come, people don't understand that in like
Oh,
1963,
yes.
that this was a a warehouse. And now we're carrying NASA in our back pocket. But oh, I want you. I didn't want to interrupt too much. Go ahead. You want to go ahead back to that wherever you want to pick
Oh,
up.
right. Yeah. But yeah, just to add to what you said, you're absolutely right. And it actually gave me shivers when you said that, because anyone that was born in the 90s was literally the last of like the 1900s. You know, when you think of it that way, you're like, wow. And I mean, I can remember, you know, because I mean, I was born 79. That was actually when I was born. So I'm right at the tippy end. So really, I'm more of an 80s baby, really, in terms of when I was consciously growing up and stuff like that. You know, because I was October 79, so I really was at the end. But if I just think in terms of like phones, yeah, if we just look at the phone, like the phone is just the most extraordinary demonstration of these quantum leaps forward. You remember when we used to have like our Nokia phones? I might even still have some old relics lying around. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I still got, and you know, where the phone looks like, oh my God, look, I think I do. Do I have an old, 1 minute? It's literally got dust on it. I've got,
Well,
because I'm a little
Hogarth,
bit,
my
oh,
first phone was the brick,
look at this. Look, you can see the dust on this thing. I don't even know if it still works, if I even still have the charger for it.
but
But
that
this
is
is,
still ultra modern.
I mean, yeah, I had older ones, but I've got rid of them. But the point is, the exciting thing about phones when they were out, it was all about, everyone was excited by the ringtones. And do you remember when you could play Snake or Tetris? That was the thing. Now look, really, everyone's phone is basically a quantum computer now. It's basically what it is.
No, but see, I got you. I got you on that. Your phone was actual technology. When the first mobile phone that I had was about that long, it was white. We called it a brick.
Yeah.
It looked like a Lego. It looked like a giant Lego. And you were the coolest person on the planet to lug one of these things around.
Yeah.
And it did absolutely nothing but cost a whole lot of money to make a phone call.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've even seen like videos and stuff like that where, you know, literally people carrying around these bricks. And then for a long time, the big innovation was what? The pager and the BlackBerry. Do you remember? That was the thing. And then Apple came along, Steve Jobs and his team, and paradigm shift, you
Yeah.
know. So that time, sort of like, I think the first iPhone was 2004,
Was it?
something like that,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Now
now
we're going to
we're
have
about to,
even more.
now we're about to quantum leap again. I mean, look at the Oculus. I mean,
Oh, I
literally,
don't know that one.
who
Oh,
people have tapped in. It's just like, okay, now it's you're wearing your technology. It's tapping right into your brain.
and now we've got chat GBT.
Oh
We've
God.
got the AI stuff. Like, people can't even begin to anticipate really and truly what's happening and what is going to happen, because what's happened as well is in Saturn in Vedic astrology has just recently moved into sidereal Aquarius.
Mm.
Yeah. Now remember, Western tropical is 24 degrees ahead, so they're talking about Saturn moving into Pisces. Yeah. But when the best analogy for it is when we're talking about sidereal Vedic astrology or Babylonian astrology, we're actually talking about the body of the planet, the physical body of the planet, and where it is in the physical sky. Western astrology can talk about the psychology of the planet. Yeah. So in a way, it can anticipate. It is anticipatory because they're 24 degrees ahead, but the concrete manifestations are always connected with the body. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
So the body of Saturn moved into sidereal Aquarius on the 17th of January 2023, this year. Now, I've had dreams about this and I made videos about this. I said there's going to be accountability and stuff like that. But I said we're going to see huge upticks in regards to technology, innovation, new rules, regulations. Saturn represents government, rules, regulations, infrastructure, restrictions of all kinds, duties, the burdens, etc. This is why Saturn is connected with government. And what I said is there will be accountability, things will speed up. But I said governments are going to start introducing tech and new tech related things, which the people may or may not like. But I said there's going to be all things to do with the sky, outer space, science, technology, information is going to be in the news. Guess what? Saturn moved, like I said, 17th of January, 2023 into sidereal Aquarius. What happened only a few days later? Chinese spy balloon. Oh, UFO stuff, yeah, because Aquarius also deals with UFOs. It deals with outer space, science, tech of all kinds. Look what's been happening, yeah? So I could go on, but anyway, I'll leave
Go
that bit there.
on, go on.
I want to give you a chance to,
No, I mean, I'm here interviewing Hogarth Brown. Go on, go on.
Okay.
I mean, because all of this is the things that we really need to know. I mean, now I can jump ahead and do the thing about tomorrow. Okay, the 20th, or is it today? Is it today? Is it the 27th? That
It's
is
the
the
20. It's the 27th for me now, and it'll be the 27th for you as well, because you're
No, I
small
mean,
hours in
is
the
it
morning.
today that the planets line up, or is it tomorrow? I thought it was tomorrow.
Oh, I'm not. Describe for me where have you been seeing that? Because there's been many
Oh
big
my goodness.
conjunctions and stuff.
Oh goodness. Oh, what's her name?
My
Yeah,
glasses seem to be working.
Innsworth. Oh, what's her name? Innsworth. I watch her. Oh, I can't think of her first name. But anyway, I know that we have Mars is moving, Pluto is moving, and everything is kind of making a line. And that
Oh, I see. Right. Aha.
today or tomorrow.
Well, yes. The thing is, it's like Mars is Mars. It like, because obviously most of us here in the West, we look at what Western astrology, isn't it? We look at Western astrology. So, and that's perfectly fine. That's what I grew up in as well, Western astrology. So I learned all the Western astrology before I learned Vedic. But I assume that this person is a Western astrologer, yeah, is a Western astrologer, because they're anticipating these new movements of things changing signs. Yeah. So, but in Vedic astrology, things are sort of changed already. So, like, I'll give you an example. Neptune, planet Neptune, has recently changed signs. And this
Yes.
is a really big deal. It's a really big deal. Neptune changed signs and moved from sidereal Aquarius into sidereal Pisces on the 22nd of February 2022. Yeah, that's when his physical body moved. Yeah, in Western astrology, they've already had Neptune in Pisces for ages. Yeah, he's a slow moving planet. It takes him 160 years or so to return to himself. And I've made videos about this. I actually made a very specific video about Neptune and actually got kiboshed by the planet. Anyway, but it's all good now. I can publish it. I've sent it to my membership and I'll publish it to the main public at some point in the future. But I did other stuff with Neptune. Now, what's Neptune? Neptune is the god of the sea. Yeah, god of the oceans. Neptune deals with fantasies, spirituality. He dissolves the boundary between the three-dimensional world and the realms beyond. He deals with spirituality, music. Yeah, he's very, very music, deals with Hollywood, film, photography. Neptune has the ability to make the unreal appear real, but he can also deal with illusions and delusions, drink, drugs, and escapism, yeah, of all kinds. Not all escapism is bad, but when you think of an example, for example, real common example that we all know, when you go to the movies, yeah, guess what happens? You go into the movies and what? You see a film, and what happens? You forget everything, don't you? Because you're completely immersed in that film.
Okay.
That's the power of Neptune. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. It can be immensely immersive. Yeah, when we go to the movies,
Hypnotic.
2 hours.
Hypnotic.
Hypnotic. Yeah, it can be hypnotic, very seductive. Yeah. The planets have their lighter sides and their shadow sides, but really, Neptune is music industry, film industry, anything that's taken up to that nth degree. Yeah. But he's the god of the sea. So he's moved into sidereal Pisces. Pisces is what? The oceanic sign. It's the last sign of the zodiac. It represents the 12th house, which is also escape and endings and beginnings, oceanic. It's currently there with Jupiter. Yeah, Jupiter is the original ruler of Pisces. Yeah, Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces. Neptune is the co-ruler. They are currently both together.
Yes.
So what I said to people is this. I said, first of all, we're going to see lots of illusions and delusions that are going to be destroyed. Yeah, new spells cast, but old spells being broken. Yeah, we're going to gain lots of truth and insights into stuff that we didn't know before. Yeah, because yeah,
I've been telling everybody this is revelation. Everything is being revealed to us. And I'm trying to get everybody to understand that the words that we use, that we have been so brainwashed into thinking that our words mean nothing, and that when we use revelation to reveal, to see, to uncover, that this is exactly what it means, that the book of the Bible means to see, to reveal, to uncover. It's not.
Yeah, that's what revelation is. It is. What is Neptune? And this is such an important and powerful planet. And in many ways, what's good about Western astrology is that it acknowledges this impact and the power of the outer planets. In Vedic astrology, they understand the outer planets are there, but they're not part of the canon. Yeah, they only go up to Saturn. So they do Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and then the nodes of the moon, Rahu, Ketu. Yeah, 9 factors. But I also include Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Ceres and Chiron because they're too important to leave out. So I look at 14 factors when I'm looking at a chart, and they're very powerful and relevant. Neptune is one of the most powerful of the outer planets because he has the ability to create alternate realities. And what happens is when he changes sign, part of the energy of Neptune is not just water, the oceans. He also deals with fog. Yeah. Part of his energy is fog. And think about it. When you're navigating and trying to move around, think of how difficult it is to find your way when you're in thick fog. Yeah, you know what it's like. It's this all-embracing thing. It's very soft. It has almost no physicality at all, but its ability to obscure the scene is profound. Yeah, isn't it? Where go out on a foggy day and you get what? Disoriented. I remember we hardly get that much fog now in the UK because obviously climate change and stuff like that. But I remember as a kid when we used to get these very foggy nights and you could go to somewhere very familiar and it will become otherworldly and unfamiliar because you can't see clearly in fog. What happens is this: now that Neptune has moved out of sidereal Aquarius, which deals with humanity, technology, yeah, everything to do with society, groups, organizations of all kinds, distribution systems, etc., pharmaceuticals, science, the fog that was there for the last 14 years is beginning to lift. The illusions that, oh, hello. See, this always happens, you know. I love it. The pets always come in and have a look. Hello. Oh, look at you, sweetheart. Are you enjoying the astrology? You can feel the energies, yeah?
Yes. She is trying to tear my arm off to get up here.
Oh, yeah. Because you will know this already, but I always say to my clients, if you got pets, they will join because the animals understand, they can feel the energy of astrology. So what's happening is an illusion or illusions about society or that may have been cast over society are now beginning to lift. Yeah, the fog of Neptune is now, you could say, moved into Pisces, but Pisces is a sign of co-rulership. Yeah, so this is going to make Neptune extraordinarily powerful, by the way. But just notice how a fog is sort of lifting, where people are sort of kind of starting to wake up to one or two things that seemed real. We realize, maybe were unreal. Things that seem solid are actually turning out to be illusions. Even our whole concept of look at politics. Look what is happening with politics. Just on that front, so many illusions, yeah, are being
blown out of the water.
Absolutely. So one of the things I said, and then I'll finish, but not finish, but I want to make this point. What I said to people was this: there's going to be things in the news to do with oceans, the sea, things, all manners of bodies of water, even things like storms, tornadoes, and stuff like that. Because Saturn is in Aquarius, which is an air sign. Yeah, windy. The element of Saturn is wind. He's in his own element. It means we're going to have lots of stuff to do with wind, tornadoes, turbulence. Aquarius also deals with what? Aviation. There's been all these stories of extreme turbulence. Honestly, it's going to develop more, yeah, because the winds are getting stronger. But then you've got Neptune in the sea, his sign of the sea, Pisces, with Jupiter, which is also expansive. He moved in 22nd of February, 2023, like I said. Look what's happening now. Big story with the sea, yeah? The giant seaweed blob, that's the whole width of America. They're saying this thing is at least 5,000 miles wide, if not more.
How? Wait, let's slow down just for one tick, because I I do not understand how something the size of a continent can develop unseen and literally cross the ocean or whatever. And how can you help enlighten me?
What it is that what we need to understand is that everything is a construct. Everything is a construct. And one of the things that the ancients spoke about, particularly in terms of Earth School being here, they referred to this experience that we have, the souls, because we're spiritual souls having a physical experience, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they call this realm Maya, and Maya means illusion, yeah, which many people are becoming familiar with this now. So what we need to understand is when we're watching the news, yeah, when we're watching our MSNBC and our CNN, and some of us might be watching Fox, which we already know has been a complete fantasy and illusion, you know, for goodness knows how long. But
And that revelation.
is, you see that revelation, yeah, how the pin is popping the balloon on that. But Fox is one of the more egregious and over the top examples of this. It's always playing out at some level or not. And the most important question that people need to ask themselves is not what is necessary, not only what's being reported, but what is not being reported. Because like you said, how can it be that something the size that 5,000, you know, which is the width of the continent, which has been brewing in the Sargasso Sea, we're only finding out about it now. So this is going to peak in July, by the way. This is all making its way to Florida, Gulf of Mexico, the Carolinas, you know, all of that stuff. It's toxic and smelly, yeah, because a lot of people are just like, oh, but we can use it for fertilizer, like people used to in the old days. But apparently it's got arsenic in it, and it's toxic. What are we going to do with this seaweed when it starts washing up, which it's already doing in the Caribbean?
Mm-hmm.
They have to remove this stuff by the truckloads,
Oh my.
literally by the truckloads. This blob, they're saying, is 5,000 miles wide.
So
This is,
basically, upper level aquatic life is being suffocated. So this is going to cause, so in June or July, it's going to cause the waterways to be unpassable, which is going to cause problems.
all sorts. Yeah,
It's
all
like
sorts.
everything. It's like it's a whole plan. Like everything is just, it's too perfect. It really is. It's too perfect.
Yeah, because what's happening is this, is that, you know, everyone is like, the great awakening is coming. Yes, it is coming. What people need to understand is this: great awakenings are often preceded by painful events.
Oh goodness gracious.
Let's just be honest about it, because, you know, as you know, I don't sugarcoat anything, or whatever, but we're seeing it. Yeah, awake, part of the nature of mankind and humanity is for us to avoid pain,
Mm-hmm.
and to not want to look at things that we don't want to see. Yeah, it
And to
happens.
avoid change.
And to avoid change. Yeah, and to avoid change. This is why almost every religion, in terms of like the higher elements of it, or if you think of stuff like Stoicism, for example, the ancient belief of Stoicism, which is very much the virtue of Saturn, by the way. That's one of Saturn's virtues, is Stoicism. And it means to be pragmatic and realistic about the world. Yeah. What happens is this: because we as human beings can often be like children and only want to eat sweets. Yeah. Don't want to eat our vegetables. Yeah. Don't want to thinks that the sun will only shine. It means that we avoid doing the necessary work in order to maintain things. Yeah,
Yes.
because Saturn along with Mercury and Venus. They're also the business planets, but they all deal with maintaining things here on Earth school. What's Mercury? Mercury is communication, yeah? Because so this, what we're doing now is very much the energy of Mercury, social media, we're communicating, we're exchanging ideas. So Mercury is deals with accounting, the writing of the small print of rules and regulations,
Mhm.
communication of all times, of all kinds, email, faxes, phones, WhatsApp, Zoom, all of that. Travel as well of all kinds, particularly local travel. So that covers what? Aeroplanes, yeah, buses, cars, all of that stuff. This is why, when we have Mercury retrograde, you notice that your travel plans can often go off,
Mhm.
or the emails don't quite work. Or for me, I have terrible problems with Zoom in Mercury retrograde. Yeah, starts getting choppy, all of that stuff. Yeah, so there's that. Venus is the practical planet of relationships of all kinds. So Venus isn't just romance and your marriage partner. Venus is also business, your business partner, how you interact with the world, all of the quality of your relationships, trying to find that balance, that happy medium, yeah, where both parties are happy. Venus is about choices, the ability to make informed and choices that lead to higher fulfillment. Yeah, when Venus is strong. Venus is also the ability to maintain relationships. This is why sometimes people who've got, and I've got a friend of mine who's got a debilitated Venus, they struggle to maintain relationships. Yeah, because they can't be bothered. Yeah, or they neglect things. Saturn is rules, regulations, practicality, survival, how we survive. He's also the planet of fear. Yeah. So we understand fear is is a difficult emotion, but it does keep us alive, but it can also be manipulated. Yeah.
Mm.
So when you look at all this all together, they maintain everything. Yeah. Did you want to add something there?
No, I think you nailed that one all the way in.
So it's really important. So Saturn, for example, is pragmatism, practicality, maintaining things, looking after things. And because we don't want to do our Saturn work, yeah,
Mhm.
what does humanity do? We tend to what? Neglect things, because maintaining things takes work. Venus, yeah, maintaining things. And people don't want to what? Think.
Mm.
Mercury, yeah. So then what happens is spirit has to create situations of such titanic proportions that people are forced to deal with things. So now, this giant blob, when it starts washing up on everybody's shores, and there's the stench and the arsenic, and you can't go out on the beach, and then you can't have your barbecue, or you got your waterfront property and it's absolutely caked in rotting seaweed, then what? Yeah, people have
Yes.
to wake up.
Wake up. But people also have to look at everything that is stacking on top of each other. And I wanted to talk about discoveries. All the discoveries that are now that were cloaked in mystery that are now coming to the light. All of the giant statues, not statues, the giant bones, the giant remains that were hidden and uh, by the Smithsonian in the
Mm,
Grand Canyon, from the
mm.
Grand Canyon, that there is a replica of ancient Kemet in
Oh,
here
educate me,
in
'cause
America in the Grand Canyon,
wow.
and that the government and the Smithsonian has obscured that and has lied, just like they did with the UFOs and everything else, has lied to us about it. Hieroglyphs, giant, huge, not like 8 foot giants, like 40-foot giants.
What bones and
Full
stuff?
skeletons.
What?
Entire skeletons. Oh yes. And that's why I'm saying we are in the age of revelation. Everything that they have told us was fantasy or fairy tale. Oh, just cover your eyes. That's not true. We are realizing is true. But my question is, why? What was the point of obscuring the truth in the first place? Because generations, I mean, they, our memories have been changed in a generation or two because
Mm-hmm.
these giants are in photographs with
Oh my God! Can you
people.
send me some links to that? You got
I
to send me
will.
some links
I
to
will.
that.
After we get
Yeah,
off, I just have to go into my history.
yeah,
All I
yeah.
gotta do is go into my history. Yes, I definitely will. But it is so astonishing. And I mean, this is just over the last couple of days. People are asking, was Betty and Barney, Betty and Barney Hill, the first quote unquote uh, um, abductees that were, oh, I guess, verified by the government? And they were here in the United States. They were abducted out of their car. Their car stalled on the road. They were abducted, woke up, and stuff had been done to them. And all of this is true. So it is like we are going to learn that the history that we think we know
Mm-hmm.
is has been imprinted upon us. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we have the Mandela effect. They are changing our memories. They've been doing this since old 45 old Donald Trump got into office. The lie is now the truth.
Mm.
Repeat the lie until it becomes
Oh
the truth.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They
I mean,
have been brainwashing us, hypnotizing us. And that's why I've told my viewers, please, please shut off your television. Stop being programmed, because right now it is literally it's psychological warfare on us with the media against us, because they have, with people becoming aware, they are losing control.
mm-hmm.
So they have to amp up the warfare against our minds to keep us ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I
Mm-hmm.
hope I didn't go too far out. Don't I
No,
I'm
no,
a
not
nutter.
at all. Because what is, and if it's what one of the things I always say to my clients is that the planets, yeah, when we so to where Vedic astrology really comes into its own, it describes the experience of Earth School and how Earth School works, how it
Explain
actually
Earth
works.
School.
Right. So here we're all immortal, yeah. We all have a spark of the divine, yeah.
Yes.
And we're here to have experiences, burn off karmas, do all of these different things. There are so many things that you can do here on planet Earth that you cannot do anywhere else. Yeah. Earth School is one of the most difficult schools in all of the universe. It truly is. And this is why when I write this book, one of an idea of the title of the book that there's obviously the Book of Power, but say like the paperback would be I'm flirting with the idea. I don't think I'd do it because it's a bit too controversial. But one of the titles I would like to call it is that Earth School is like a Russian nightclub. Yeah, it's free to get in, but you have to pay to get out.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, that's what Earth School is like. Here, we have to deal with three-dimensional reality, which is one of the most densest and complex levels of reality to deal with. Yeah. And it's also the realm of free will, but it's also the most seductive layer of reality as well. This is where Maya truly exists. This is where spells can be cast and be believed, where we are subject to illusion, not only from the outside world, but from within
Inside.
ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we look at the planets, when I'm looking at a chart, I'm looking at that person's soul contract, this lifetime for them on Earth school. But I can also look at their past life as well, part of their longer lineage and contract as well. And what it depends on is the planets, where they are, which house they're in, what sign they're in, and who they're with. The planets are like radio stations. There are many other analogies I can use, but they broadcast their lowest to highest vibrations simultaneously. We are like the antennas receiving those messages. At what level we process and act out those messages depends on our karmas, but also our own level of personal development. The easiest frequencies to manifest and do are the lowest ones. Yeah, the lowest vibrations of the planets.
Yes, pleasure, anger.
Yeah, so what's the lowest so if we think, remember, Saturn deals with governments, yeah, governments of all kinds. Also deals with one, grandparents, authority figures, duties, career, stuff like that. So the lower vibrations of Saturn are fear, control, domination, restriction, and confinement. Yeah. Let's just cast our mind back and think about what happened when Saturn changed signs and entered sidereal Capricorn. Yeah. Around about January 2020.
COVID. Lockdown. Restricted movement. Control,
control. Right. So that's the lower vibration of Saturn. Yeah. Yes. So each planet has its lowest to highest vibration. And it means no matter how difficult a person's chart is, we can all have transcendence and liberation from our chart when we go to the highest vibration of our planets. Yeah. Yes. Where they are. Mm-hmm. It shows the blueprint of our challenges, but also our virtues and our talents and our skills. Yeah. So, but the point is, it describes Earth school. That's why I can read charts for nations. I'm not the only one who does this, of course. But when you read it, like, so for example, if I turn my camera this way, yeah. Oh, I've got to be careful I don't switch off. If I turn my camera this way, and we look here at the chart of the United States, yeah, that's why when I use this chart, I can predict things accurately, yeah, because I've got the sidereal version. So this is the 1776, July 4th, yeah, 6:30 p.m. Philadelphia chart, yeah, and I read that from the Vedic positioning. It works perfectly. This over here is the Pluto return. Pluto has come back to its original position. Yeah. So, yeah. So what does that mean? What's Pluto all about? The highest energies of Pluto are transcendence, mea culpa, the integration of shadow, almost X-Men powers, the ability to see through any illusion or lie that anyone's trying to cast. What's the shadow of Pluto? Authoritarianism, manipulation, fascism, corruption, people trafficking, etc. The worst of what humanity can do. Now, isn't it interesting that we're seeing all of this? And guess what? The body of Pluto moved into sidereal Capricorn, which officially began the Pluto return of the United States on the 1st of January 2021. What happened 5 days later?
The January 6th freaking insurrection.
Right. Pluto is like a hand grenade. Pluto breaks everything up in order that things renew and reconfigure. What is one of the symbols of Pluto is the phoenix, yeah? The bird dies and then rises from the ashes. Pluto deals with the underworld, everything underground, even gems, minerals, oil. He's the composting factor. The whole world, all of our governments, Capricorn, Pluto's gone in there, are what? Composting at the moment. Look at all of the filth, grime, and gutter that's coming out. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what Pluto does. Brings it up. I say to people, Pluto is like your next door neighbor's cat dropping a rat on your bed. And you're like, yeah, we have to deal with it. So we're going through these processes, but it makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we can see now that there's enough factors, people can then understand, there's something to this. So Saturn moves into sidereal Capricorn. He's now in sidereal Aquarius because he spends about 2.5, 3 years in the sign. But January 2020 moves into Capricorn. Government lockdown, yeah? Rules, regulations, no one can do nothing, yeah? Mash up, yeah? So we're only just coming out of that. Then, but in January 1st, 2021, Pluto moves into Capricorn. Explosion of government, insurrection, fascism. You see all around the world, you know, Tucker Carlson and all that lot and all of the rubbish. Yeah. All of that developing. Neptune moves into sidereal Pisces with Jupiter. Issues with the sea. All of a sudden, 5,000-mile seaweed blob. Yeah.
Not only the seaweed blob, but here in the United States, almost every waterway is being contaminated.
Right. And there's issues as well with what? Pharmaceuticals, and not just that, drugs. You see how a lot of people are dying from this thing called, what is it called? Scrag or strag or
the zombie stuff, right?
Yeah, the zombie stuff. Right.
Well, I don't know what it's. I know there's a name for it, but it's like the one that has just people just standing slumped over.
Something like that. And apparently a lot of people are dying from it now. It's called scrag or strag or something like that.
You see, somebody in the chat, what's that new drug name? And hello to everyone in the chat. Welcome and thank you for being here. Somebody enlighten us. What is this new zombie drug called?
I can't remember what it's called.
We'll get an answer in a second. Just got to be patient. Let them type. Somebody out there knows. But while they're searching for that, oh my goodness, let's see. Because we're almost at an hour here, and I don't want to monopolize your entire day. So Trank.
Let's do one more. We can do one more question, and it's so nice. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about these factors in this level of depth. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't want to hear it, to be honest. They don't want to hear it, but it's manifesting in the world, you know.
And it is so relevant to everything that is going on. And Rose Blue gave us the answer. It is Trank. That's what it's called here in the United States.
Trank, what?
Trank, Tranque, like tranquilizer.
That's it, trank. Yeah, trank. That's it. That's what they call it, trank. Yeah, right. Trank. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Yeah. So trank and all of that stuff is the shadow of Neptune. The shadow of Neptune is, now look, not all drugs are bad. Like, for example, when we go into the operating theater, what do they give you? Gas. Yeah. Neptune also deals with fog and gases. So that Neptunian element does what? Takes you out of your body, yeah, gives you an otherworldly experience so you can be operated on pain-free, yeah? What is Neptune is mind-altering experiences. So anything that takes, so that's why he also deals with hallucinogenics and stuff like that as well, yeah? That's Neptune, psychedelia. I mean, there's so much I can tell you about the generations of Neptune, you know, the hippie generation, the whole...
Can I ask you a question real quick? Oh. And this is kind of personal because it's really funny. When I was a teenager, I used to astral project all the time. Hadn't thought about it for like ever. And then all of a sudden the other night, I'm sitting there and I'm finding myself trying to recall and I want to say what I did was I had never done before. It was the most interesting thing that happened to me. It's like I astral projected into myself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Makes
like
total
I
sense.
dove into my consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
it was
makes
like I
total
was
sense.
literally having a conversation
Yeah,
like with myself,
yeah, with your higher self. Yeah,
but it
because what
wasn't even
it
the
is,
higher self that I know. It's like I thought I
right.
knew who my higher self was. This was like a different feeling, and it was so in depth and real. I said,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm a nutter.
Yeah. So if we can so if we use my radio analogy again, yeah,
Mm,
trank would be the lowest vibration of Neptune, yeah, because
uh-huh.
that's drink and drugs and alcohol and whatever to escape a situation, yeah. That's why most of us, or most of us, you know what I mean, most of humanity, yeah, part of what drink and drugs and stuff like that or movies or whatever is to what escape the burdens of reality, yeah, because life is, it can be tough, yeah. Saturn, survival, yeah. Saturn, reality, planet of survival. Everyone is what, struggling to survive because the shadow expression, government and rules and regulations, people don't have enough to make ends meet, yeah. So the temptation to what? Escape via drink or drugs is what? Getting stronger and stronger and stronger. People are being pushed into the negative aspects of Neptune, which of course can what? Take you completely out. Neptune also deals with death, by the way, but it's that overdose, yeah? Or drinking into a stupor and then the car crashes, or you fly into the side of a mountain because of fog, yeah? But the highest expressions, let's talk about the virtues of Neptune, which will also come out, is what you've just described. Many people are going to be having more outer body experiences, transcendental experiences, inspiration when it comes to music, arts, beauty of all kinds. The creative people, what's going to happen is the creative impulse in people is going to rise up and shine even more. We're going to see extraordinary artworks, beauty of all kinds, telepathy, even things, developments with animals as well, kind of consciousness, the consciousness of animals, our pets, etc., dreams, transcendental experiences, and interdimensional travel, yeah. So because Neptune is now what, in his own sign, this is why you've been having that experience, because for everyone now, Neptune is back in his own sign and he's going to be there for 14 years.
And that's Pisces, and that's me.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
the
So,
whole
yeah, the
enchilada.
spiritual people off the charts.
Ooh, it's been an interesting ride. I tell you what. Let's see. Let me see. I want to go back on this one just because I know some people are in the room that didn't hear it. So,
Mm.
can you just tell us why everyone should familiarize themselves with their rising sign, that they should at least know their sun sign, their rising sign,
And
um,
moon.
as just how they navigate day to
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there is a trifecta in all across all the disciplines of astrology. Obviously, I would encourage people to find out what their Vedic placements are. So you can literally like Google free Vedic chart calculator. I mean, I should have one on my website, and for some reason I never got round to it. And that's something I can sort out for 2023. But look at that. It will look different, but what you need to look at is the rising sign, the moon sign, and the sun sign. So what do they mean? The ascendant is you, your body, your incarnation here this lifetime. So the ascendant deals with almost like the first impressions of how we come across, the big elements of the personality, but it also sets up the whole chart. So how do you decide the ascendant? The ascendant is decided by what sign is rising on the eastern horizon at the time that you're born. There's 12 signs of the zodiac and there's 24 hours in the day. So each sign gets 2 hours each. Yeah, 2 hours each. So if I turn my thingy bob here again, and if we imagine that this is Aries, yeah, over here. So to be an Aries, it means that Aries was rising on the eastern horizon at the time someone was born, when they actually took their first breath. So whether they're at the beginning of Aries, at the end of Aries, that's it. But of course, it will depend on the nakshatra. Don't want to complicate. The next thing, of course, is the moon. The moon is exceptionally important. The moon represents the mind over all, our predominant thoughts, but also it deals with our emotions, our ability to adapt, how we get our needs met. It also deals with, our instincts of all kinds, and it deals with our mother. Yeah. The moon in your chart is your mother. This is why it's so important, to have know the moon sign from the Vedic position. Of course, I'm going to say that because that will tell you your relationship with your mother. Yeah. So true. And the sun, this is making you laugh, isn't it? The sun is what? The kingdom. The sun shows our spark of the divine. Yeah, that's our part of ourself from God. Yeah. The sun represents your kingdom that you're building this lifetime, whether you're aware of it or not, how you show up in the world. But guess what? The sun is your father. I can look at people's chart and I can look at the condition of the sun and the moon and I will know their relationship with their mother and their father. Simple as that. If I want to know about their siblings or the brother, I look at Mars. Yeah. If I want to know about the sister, I look at Venus. Yeah. If I want to know about the friends, I look at Mercury. If I want to know about the grandparents or a person's struggles, I look at Saturn. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I want to tell everybody out there that's listening, if you have not had your chart read by Hogarth, then you are missing out on an incredible experience. It is enlightening what he will let you know about yourself, and he will be pitching a no-hitter because he will get every single thing correct. I had mine done in December, and this is true. I mean, that's why I'm laughing so hard. And after we get off of here, I'm going to let you know why I'm laughing about the whole mother thing. I can't let everybody know all my business. I'm going to let you know.
But yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. When you look at these things, so that, can you imagine, look, the hour's gone so quickly and there's so much that, that I would love to share. And obviously I have to come back at some point as well to, to continue the conversation and answer questions and stuff. But really and truly, when the planets orchestrate Earth School, they are the arbiters. They are the factors that influence what we perceive to be reality. And when we understand the planets, what they mean and where they are, it opens everything out.
Yes. And that's why you have got to end this show with your slogan.
Oh, yeah. Know your planets, know yourself.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Hogarth. Thank you, everyone. Happy Monday, y'all. We have got to do this again.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me on and allowing me to go into such depth about this. So thank you.
No, thank you, because you have taught us all every one of us has come away with something that we didn't know today. Thank
Amazing.
you.
My pleasure.
All right.